Hey guys, welcome back. This is the technical analysis video of XRP. What we're looking at right now is XRP currently sitting at 1.91. However, it has very big potential. The reason why I say this is we seem to be finding this bottom, which you have seen reacting various amounts of times. And once again, we've tapped here. So now we know where the most optimal zone is for accumulating and buying into XRP. So this is obviously the area. We're looking at around kind of the 1.8 to 1.77-ish area for XRP. Some areas that we do need to look out for though. Firstly, if we take a look at the previous history, is that when we first saw this structure happening, so what we had was, of course, the lower low, lower high, into another lower low, into a lower high, before the break of structure over here, where we created a high. However, it was immediately not useful because then we created a new bearish structure of another form of lower low, lower high, a new lower low. And so we know right now we are still somewhat in a bearish structure. But because we're going towards this zone, because we've accumulated and held this zone so many times, we know that at this area is where you're looking at XRP to be pivoting, where you're looking at the buyers to have the most volume and really come in for XRP. And so I'm completely fine with us at this area. For those of you who are swing trading, for those of you who have patience, this is the ultimate area that you are looking for. The things that you want to look out for, however, is if you want to know where XRP will really take off, it's seemingly looking like this 61.8 zone, so the price of 2.342. In the past, we've seen how they've been hovering around this area. We've seen the consolidation over here. And the most important thing is when we did break out of this bearish structure and we formed this new bars of candles over here, what we've failed at, what we saw the most volatility, and you can see by this particular wick of the body being quite small but the wick being long, was that coming in at this 61.8 Fibonacci level. That's when people are worried. That's when it's being pivotal for XRP. And so this is where you want to look out for if you want to see the most confirmation for XRP. If we want to take a look at some of the long-term plays, like I said, I personally am very okay with this 1.8 zone. The very fact that it's sitting at the 0 for the Fibonacci, the 1.77 area as well, is perfect for me. And so I'll be aiming for two price targets. Firstly, 61.8. That's the first area I'm targeting at because that really decides where XRP is going to go. Then I'll be targeting the 2.6955 area. And then for those of you who want to take it one step further, you can aim for the 2.9472 area. Making sure that when I do say this area, it is a rough estimate. You should still give or take a few minor points. So don't be exact on 2.342. You could be looking at 2.34 or 2.33. So don't be exact on this exact price point. But this is what I will be looking for. Mainly just aiming for two areas. And if I see opportunities, I will obviously aim it for higher. If you want to take a look at the short-term trade, is that just because I've talked about this is an accumulation zone and we've seen it already being bought up, it doesn't mean we won't revisit this again. If you want to trade short term, you look at the rejections on the Fibonacci. So if we are rejecting here, you can take a small short back to 1.8. If you see a breakthrough, you can take a long towards 2.1237. But then, of course, if it rejects 2.1237, you can then take a short back down to the 17% on the Fibonacci. So these are the short-term ideas. And you guys, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.